On digital electronics, we are discussing the design of sequential logic circuits. In this lesson, our objective is disadvantages and advantages of asynchronous counters we discuss, and working of synchronous counters we discuss. And next, before that, let us review the previous class, that is design of asynchronous counters. Asynchronous counters are also called as ripple counters because the clock signal ripples through all the flip-flops. That means the clock output of the first clock input is given to the first flip-flop, main clock is given to the first flip-flop, and succeeding flip-flops will get the clock signal from previous outputs of the flip-flops. So this is a asynchronous counters. In this, this is the 3-bit asynchronous up-down counter we have discussed, and in this you see it count from 0 to 7 or 7 to 0. Count up mode, count down mode, that we have seen, and this is the this is the mode 0, that is the count up this section. So that is main clock is applied to first flip-flop, and you see the QA, QB, QC. So the QA receives the main clock as the input, hence it responds to negative edges of main clock. And if you see the second flip-flop QB, and it will respond to the negative edges of QA. It responds to negative edges of the QA like this. Similarly, for the QC, it will respond to negative edges of this QB. It will respond to this negative edges of the QB like this. So this is the counting, and observe here how the count is done. 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, and 1, 0, 1. Next, 0, 1, 1. This is 1. 0, 1, 1. And that means 1, 1, 0 means this is 6. Next, 1, 1, 1. You see, from all zeros to all ones it counted. After this, the counter returned to zeros. You see these zeros. This is up counting. Next, observe here down counting. In the down counter, mode bit must be 1. So observe here, mode bit be 1. Observe here initially zeros. Initially zeros. In the first edge, first clock pulse, observe here. This is 1. For every negative edge, this will toggle like this. Already I told you. For every negative edge of QA, QB will toggle. For every negative edge of QB, QC will toggle. That you have to remember. And let us check the bits. 1, 1, 1. Next, here 0, 1, 1. Down counting. You see 0, 0, 0 to first clock pulse all ones. It made to all ones. Okay. Next, all ones means 7. This is 7. Next, 1, 1, 0. That means it is 6. Next, 1, 0, 1, 5. 0, 0, 1, 4. Next, 1, 1, 0. This is 3. 0, 1, 0, 2. 1, 0, 0, 1. Next, 0, 0, 0, 0. Initialize to 0. That means 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. This is initially 0. You see? So this is the down counting. Now, so we have discussed asynchronous counters in the classification or synchronous counters. Asynchronous counters are there. In the synchronous counters, all the flip-flops receives the same clock pulse. In the asynchronous counters, first flip-flop will receive main clock, and all other succeeding flip-flops takes the clock input from previous flip-flops outputs. So that is the asynchronous counters. 4-bit triple counter counts up to 15, 0 to 15 it will count. And this 4-bit ripple counter, it is called as different names. 4-bit ripple counter, okay. Ripple counter also can be called as 4-bit asynchronous counter. Asynchronous counter, that is another name. Next, so don't be confused with the different names. 4-bit asynchronous, 4-bit ripple counter, both are same. Otherwise, you can call it as 4-stage ripple counter, 4-stage asynchronous counter, you can call it as. Or mod 16 counter, mod 16 counter. All these are same names if you observe. Mod 16 ripple counter, mod 16 asynchronous counter, or 4-bit asynchronous counter, 4-stage asynchronous counter. Like this you can call them. The name is same. You have to remember this. If ripple counter is a synchronous counter, asynchronous counter, either A or B, none of the asynchronous counter. So with this we have seen the previous classes review, and next in this class, let us see the disadvantages of asynchronous counters. In this, propagation delay is more. The speed of operation is low since flip-flops are not clocked simultaneously. To obtain truncated sequence, it is necessary to force the counters to recycle before going through all of its normal sequence. So these are the asynchronous counter disadvantage. Let us see the synchronous counter. In the synchronous counter, each flip-flop, the counter is triggered at the same time and a clock line is connected to each flip-flop of the counter. That is a synchronous counter configuration. Let us consider 4-bit synchronous counter. So this is the 4-bit synchronous counter. You can call it as 4-bit 4-stage synchronous counter. 4-stage synchronous counter, and you can call it as mod 16 counter. It is called as mod 16 synchronous counter. Mod 16 synchronous counter. These are the names you have to remember. And observe here the design equations for the synchronous counter and the design procedure is entirely different, but at your diploma level it is not necessary, because excitation of the flip-flops we have to consider T flip-flop excitation, and for the synchronous counter design, what is the present state and next state. Based upon this, the equations for the inputs of the flip-flops are derived, and from them we connect the gate circuitry, because the logic gate circuit additional circuits are essential to design the synchronous counter. So these are the logic gates, these are the logic gate circuits to design the synchronous counter. How did you get? We get these equations from the excitation table, present state, next state, and the inputs. For the inputs, we draw K maps or apply simplification procedures to get the input equations of the T flip flop. Observe here the design equations finally we will get after certain following certain procedures step, because that steps are not necessary at your level. I directly write those steps. So now you see the design steps are finally after simplification we will get the T0 equals to 1, and T1 equals to T1 equals to Q0, T2 equals to Q0 Q1. That means you can connect it as, you can, because T1 equals to Q0, you substitute that T1 Q1, and T3 is like this. And next T3, let us T3 is Q0 Q1 Q2, Q0 Q1 Q2. So that means Q0 Q1 is the T2. So this is T2 Q2. You can write it as T2 Q2. T3 is equals to T2 Q2, like this. So out of these design equations, just connect the circuits like this. Observe here, you see, according to T0 equals to 1, this is the T0 equals to 1. Just T0 is connected to logic 1, and T1 equals to Q0. Hence, you see the T1 is connected with the Q0. Next, T2 is Q0 Q1, that is T1 Q1. You see, the T2 is, this is the T2, the T1 and Q1, these are connected to, here output of AND gate is T1 Q1, which is connected to T2. Like this you have to make connections. Similarly T3, observe here, for T3 is T2, so this is the T2, and next Q2, like this. Like this you have to connect. So these are the outputs, Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, and observe here, very important observation you can see here is the clock is applied simultaneously to all the flip-flops. If you observe, this is the clock input, this clock is given to clock, you see, clock input of the flip-flop FF0, and also FF1, and also FF2, and also FF3 simultaneously. That means all the flip-flops are taking the same clock input. But how this counter is able to count? Because of this design and gate circuitry, according to the equations we got, and the, you see the, how one should, because for every clock pulse FF0 will complement its previous output, but FF1 output will be complemented or retains its previous value based upon the T1 input. Similarly, based for FF2 to based on T2, FF3 based on T3, like this, according to design equations. This is the, so J and K terminal of JK flip-flop is tied together to act as T flip-flop. So directly we have taken the T flip-flop example. If T is 0, no change of state with the clock pulse. If T is 1, flip-flop output is complemented with each pulse. So that is, so now Q0 toggles with each pulse because T0 is 1. Q1 complements if both Q01, T11, T1 Q0 is 1, T1 is Q0. Q2 toggles if Q0, Q1 is 1 and T2 is Q0, Q1. Q3 toggles only if all three Q0, Q1, Q2 is 1. So that is T3 is 1. So this is the design, already I told you. So what is the counting sequence? The counting sequence like this: 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, like this. The counter counts like this, the sequence. Like this. Now let us, that is the mode 16 we have discussed just now, synchronous counter. Okay, now let us consider the synchronous counter mode 10, ripple counter, decade counter. Okay, asynchronous ripple mod 10 ripple counter. Mod 10 means it has to count from 0 to 9, and hence it is called decade counter. You can call it as a BCD counter also. You see the names of this is BCD counter or mod 10 counter or decade counter. So these are the names of counter. These counters are useful in display applications. Counter with sequence of 0 through 9, that is 0000 to 1001, is a BCD counter because it's a 10 state sequence is the BCD code. So this is the decade counter we have. Observe here, for a decade counter, because it is 10 up to 10 pulses it has to count mod 10, then you can express it as 2 power 4 only. If you take 2 power 3, it is less than 10, hence 2 power 4 is only suitable. So 4 flip-flops you have to consider in the design. Okay, so 4 flip-flops you have to take, and you have to connect 4 flip-flops as it is. And because our aim is that you have to take the uh, preset and clear, the flip-flops which having preset and clear inputs, also indirect direct inputs, asynchronous direct inputs. You those are the preset and clear. You see, observe here, the flip-flops we have taken are, these are the clear inputs, active low clear inputs. That means whenever 0 is applied, then the flip-flops are set to clear to zeros. That means all the outputs are zeros. These are the outputs. Whenever clear input, here the clear input, that means NAND gate output is 0, then automatically all the flip-flops are clear to zeros. That you have to remember. Next, another point here is, because the JK flip-flops are taken, all the JK inputs are shorted and tied to high. You see, for each flip-flop JK inputs are tied to logic 1 like this. That means we are configuring it as a toggle mode, when then only it will count. So this is another connection you have to remember. And because it is asynchronous counter, only first flip-flop will take the main clock. So this is the main clock. All the flip-flops are negative edge triggering, negative edge triggering. And observe here, and next the succeeding flip-flops are taking the outputs of flip-flops as a clock signal. You see, the Q0 is the clock signal for FF1, Q1 is clock signal for FF2, Q2 is clock signal for FF3, like this. So hence it is asynchronous. So generally, the important point you have to remember is, because this is the 4-bit asynchronous ripple counter, it will count up from all zeros to all ones automatically. 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 1, like that. It will go up to counting 1 1 1 1 1. But we don't want the counter should count from 10 to 15, because I want from 0 to 9 only counting. From 10th count onwards, it should not count, it should reset to, at the 10th count, it should reset to 0 only. That is the aim. Okay, at the 10th count, it has to reset to 0 and start from 0 to 9, and from 9, after 9, it should go back to 0 only after 9. That is our aim. So what is the 9 value in the binary? The 9 value in the binary is, observe here, 1 0 0 1. You see, I am writing from right to left because MSB bit is here. MSB, this is the MSB. 1 0 0 1, this is the 9. 10 10 is like this. 1 0 1 0. This is the 10. This is the MSB 1 0 1 0 10. So because Q3 is 1, Q1 is 1 at the 10th position. We don't want this. Actually, I want counting from 0 to 9. After 9, 10. 10 means the flip-flop status are like this. 1 0 1 0 10. So I want to clear the reset the counter whenever 10 is coming. Once it is reset, it start from counting 0 to 9. Once 10 comes, automatically the NAND gate will issue the clear signal to clear the inputs. So that is the one. So hence observe here the Q1 is 1, Q3 is also 1. So hence the Q1 is 1 and Q3 is 1 at the 10th counter. Hence that is connected to ground NAND gate, and NAND gate output is 0. NAND gate output is 0 whenever 1 0 1 0 10th number comes. So NAND gate output is 0. This 0 is connected to clear inputs of all the flip-flops like this. You see, clear inputs of all the flip-flops. Hence, all the flip-flops are clear to zeros whenever that count comes. So this is a simple technique and a design technique. Hence, this will count from 0 to 9 only, because at the 10th position this is 1 and this is 1, hence output is 0 and the counter is reset to 0, so that it count from 0 to 9 only. So Q1, Q3 bits are connected to NAND gate inputs. Whenever these are 1 at the count 1 0 1 0, so the output of the NAND gate is low, and which will reset all the flip-flops to zeros. Timing diagram, let us consider the decade counter. Here let us see the first flip-flop is taking the main clock input. This is the main clock input it is taking. For every negative edge, the first flip-flop will toggle. For every negative edge, the first flip-flop will toggle like this. You see, it is toggling. Next it is toggle. Next toggles. Next toggles. Next toggles like this. Like this. Similarly, this Q0 is clock. This Q0 is clock for Q1 flip-flop. Hence, for every negative edge of this is the negative edge. For every negative edges, this will toggle. That means you see, this will toggle. No. Next, for this is Q1 is clock for this, hence it will toggle for negative edge. Okay, Q3 is taking clock pulse as Q2, hence it will toggle here negative edge and like this. So this is now let us see initially zeros. First clock pulse it is 1 0 0 0. Second pulse 0 1 0 0. Next pulse 1 1 0 0. Next pulse 0 0 1 0. The next pulse 1 0 1 0. In the next pulse 0 1 1 0. This is 6. In the next clock pulse 1 1 1 0. That is 7. Next pulse 0 0 0 1. That is 8. Now you see, observe very carefully. This is the pulse. This is the pulse. At this is 1 0 0 1. 9. Required count come. Required count comes. In the next pulse, because it is 1001, it should reset to zeros. It is reset to zeros. So now once again the count counts from like this. That is, clear input is 0 at this state. So this is the timing diagram of decade counter. Next, decade 4-bit synchronous counter also. Previously asynchronous counter, decade counter we have seen, and synchronous counter also you can see. In the synchronous counter design, we need to derive the input equations. We have to derive the input equations from the excitation tables. And after simplification we get the values. Observe here, Jk equals to Qa only, Qa and Qd bar. These are the design equations, but you have to learn only asynchronous decade counter. So just for understanding I am telling, the first flip-flop Jk is connected to logic 1. This is connected to logic 1, but second flip-flop Jk are connected to, you see, the Qd bar and Qa. That means J1 equals to K1 equals to Qa Qd bar. So this is the equation, design equation for the second flip-flop. And for this flip-flop, J2 K2 equals to J2 K2 equals to Qa. You can observe J2 K2 equals to Qa QB, Qa QB. That's all. Next, that is a J2 K2. Qa Q. You will get the design equation like this. For J3 equals to K3 equals to how much? Observe here, Qa and Qd, Qa Qd plus Qd, not Qd bar, J3 equals to K3 equals to, these are the important equations, Qa Qd bar, Qd not bar, Qd plus QA QB QA QB and QC QA QB QC. So this is the design equation for J3 K3, this flip flop. So after connecting the gate circuitry, it will count up to 0 to 9. And observe here, the same clock pulse is applied to all the flip flops because it is a synchronous. Main clock pulse is connected to all the flip flops. So this is the design of synchronous decade counter. Let us compare synchronous and asynchronous counters. Now, for the asynchronous counter, the logic circuit of this type counters simple to design, and we feed output of one flip flop to clock of next flip flop. That is asynchronous. For the synchronous, the circuit diagram for the type of counter becomes difficult as number of states increase in the counter, because the complex design procedure is there to design the synchronous counter, because you have to derive the input equations. So you need a certain design procedure for this. And next, for the propagation delay, for this asynchronous, the propagation delay is TPD, propagation delay, time delay, equals to n into delay of one flip flop, which is quite high. N is the number of flip flops. For synchronous, the propagation time delay is delay of one flip flop plus delay of one gate. Delay of one flip flop plus delay of one gate. Inclusion of delay of one gate would be illustrated when we design higher counters. So that is the thing. Next, clock. Clock is same for all flip flops. In the So for asynchronous, clock is different. It's not same. Asynchronous clock is different for each flip flop. But in the synchronous, clock is same for all the flip flops. Maximum operating frequency. So this you have to make correction. This you have to make correction. For this you have to do. Next, maximum operating frequency. So this maximum operating frequency is low for asynchronous, is high for synchronous. Speed, asynchronous slow, synchronous fast. Components required, less for asynchronous, more for synchronous. Cost is less for asynchronous, cost is more for synchronous. Disadvantage, glitches are there, some disadvantage in the asynchronous, and lockout condition for synchronous. So these are the disadvantages. So let us see the some ICs of TTL and CMOS ICs for the counters. 7490 is decade counter IC available in the market. 7492 divided by 12 counter. 93 4-bit asynchronous counter. 190 synchronous up down counter. These are all TTL. Next, CMOS IC is 4510 is the BCD up down counter. 4516 binary up down counter. So these are the ICs available in the market. Let us see the ring counter. So the ring counter is a typical application of shift register. So this is almost similar to shift register. The only change is that the output of the last flip-flop is connected to the input of the first flip-flop in case of ring counter, but in case of shift register it is taken as out. That is only the difference. Except this, all the other things are same. So 4-bit ring counter we need 4 flip-flops. So let us see, this is the 4-bit ring counter. This is the 4-bit ring counter. Observe here, this is very simple. The last flip-flop output is connected as input to the first flip-flop. That is only the change. You make it ring. You make it ring like this. That means the bit that is set will ring through like this. It will ring through like this. It will move. For each clock, it will move like this, in this manner. So this is the, hence it is called ring counter. And now you see the override input to make the first flip-flop preset to 1. You have to preset this first flip-flop to 1. How? With the override input. So you see, whenever override input is activated, uh, this override input is connected to all clears of these ff1, ff2, ff3, and this override input is not connected to clear, but it is connected to preset input of the first flip-flop ff0. That is the difference. So that means this override input makes the ff0 to 1 and all other flip-flops to zeros. So this is the first setting, 1 0 0 0, and the clock input is given to all the flip-flops simultaneously, hence it is a synchronous type. Hence the preset is 0, and then you see the first combination preset 0. Whenever preset is 0, then this flip-flop is set to 1, because this 0 is coming to here. This is the active low preset control. This is the active low clear signals. Hence all are made to zeros. Whenever override input is 0, this is the initialization. So for every clock, for clear it is 0, means all these are the combinations you can observe. This is combination for first flip-flop. This is combination for set all 3 flip-flops. This is the combination inputs. So this is initialized. Now if you observe here, override input is 0 here, 0. Hence whatever may be the clock event, whether clock is 0 or 1, this is the don't care. This is the don't care the clock. This is the initial setting 1 0 0 0. For every after that you have to make override input to 1. That is disabled. Override input is disabled. This is disabled. Hence for every clock activity, that is negative edge, for every clock negative edge, what happens? For the first clock negative edge, this 0 is shifted to here. That is Q1. Okay. Next, and this 0 is shifted to here. This 0 is shifted to here like this. That is the thing. For the next clock edge, this is the next clock edge. In this next clock edge, this 0 is shifted to here, this 1 is shifted to here, this 0 is shifted to here. and this 0 Q3 0 shifted to Q1. That means here. Okay, this is at that clock edge. Next, let us see for another clock edge. So this, for this clock edge, what happens is this Q3 is shifted to here, and this Q0 is shifted to here, and this 0 is shifted to here, this 1 is shifted to here, like this. In the next clock edge, this Q3 is shifted to here. Next, this 0 is shifted to here, this 0 is shifted to here, this 0 is shifted. Like this. This ring throw rotate left by one position. Applications of ring counter. It is used as a frequency counter, ADC, digital clocks, measures timers and rate, etc. Applications of counters are frequency counters, digital clocks, analog to digital converters. With some changes in their design, counters can be used as frequency divider circuits. So the frequency divider circuit is that which divides the input frequency exactly by 2. In time measurement, that means circulating time in timers such as electronic devices like ovens and washing machines. We can design digital triangular wave generator by using counters also. So these are the applications. So let us we have discussed the disadvantages of asynchronous counters, and we have seen the design of synchronous counter. The advantage of synchronous counter over ripple counter is the speed of operation is high. So these are the questions. Okay. With this we conclude our lesson. Thank you.